Norm Macdonald is in studio with us, comedian and actor. Also Kevin Farley, who I saw at the Venetian last summer. Yeah. Kevin Farley, you were good.
Oh, thank you.
Really good. Like, you didn't have everything scripted. You just got up and told stories.
That's what I do, yeah.
It was good.
Because, I have an improv background, so I don't really know how to tell jokes. So I tell stories.
You're just a funny guy.
Thanks.
You guys are at the Helium Comedy Club this weekend. Tonight, showtime's 8 o'clock tonight, and Friday and Saturday, 2 shows each night, 7:30 and 10 o'clock. Norm Macdonald, you're unshaven, man.
Yeah, no, I didn't take a shave because I forgot my I forgot my 6-blade razor at home, and I need 6 blades because the first one gets the hair, then the second one pulls it a little, and the third one. Anyways, I saw a commercial, but I got to the hotel. I hadn't shaven for 3 days, and I got a lot of hair because I'm so mad. It's crazy how masculine I am. You can go a long time, but anyways. And then they gave me and Farley. They gave just a single blade, and Farley said it'll tear up your face.
It will. It tears mine up.
A
one-blader will bloody up my face pretty good.
Yeah. Why did anyone ever shave before they had the Mach 3?
Yeah.
Why did they shave?
Yeah, why would you? You just rip your face
I wonder
up.
when people started shaving. In the old cultures, didn't they use a rock or something like that? Am I imagining that?
I don't know.
Strongopedia, do you happen to know the history of shaving?
That's a bit outside my purview, but I'll look it up.
He'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up in the www.
I thought it was interesting because Norm Macdonald dropped a swear word during the break-in here, and it's like Bob Saget. Like, you see him as the Olsen twins' dad, and then he's dropping F-bombs in some comedy routine. Do you cuss in your bit?
Yeah.
You do it in your normal...
All the time in real life.
Walking around?
Yes, because when I was young, my dad said, I swore a lot. My dad said, if you swear, if you curse a lot, that's a sign of a person with a very low vocabulary. So I really did not want a large vocabulary. So I thought, this will be cool. I'll just, every time I can't think of a word, I'll say something super dirty. And it works just as well.
You guys you guys sort of tour together, or is this a run? How long have you been on this current sort of binge?
Norm is my mentor. Norm, when I started, Norm goes, I'm going to teach you stand up. This was last year, right, Normie? Mm-hmm. So I went on the road with him, and he basically is teaching me. I sort of learned from him a lot. And so we went across Canada, and now I go around here, and he takes me to places.
Sometimes he learns from me. Like the other night, I realized he learned from me by saying a joke I told him on the airplane.
That's what's mentoring.
All of a sudden, it's in his act. I'm like, he's like, I thought. I go, no, you just heard me tell you.
That's right.
Because I forgot which one of us said it.
Well, then I won't do that one. Sorry.
You, Norm, when you're acting and then doing the stand-up stuff, what do you prefer to do? What's more natural to you?
Oh, stand-up. That's the only thing I like to. I don't know how to act at all. Sometimes when you're good at stand-up, they'll give you other stuff for some reason. It doesn't make any sense that you're not good at all. So they'll go hey, you're a pretty good stand-up. Would you care to be an awful sitcom guy? You go, sure, I'll take it.
You're and Kevin, you say improv is your background, and I saw you in Vegas. You had no planned material. You just started telling stories about your childhood. Yeah. It was hilarious. But Norm, I got to think that you write a lot of your stuff.
I write it all.
How much of being a comedian for you is writing, and how much is the delivery of it?
Oh, I think it's pretty well all writing. Yeah. I mean, but you can write, I don't really write things on paper so much as I just think them up in my head, you know what I mean?
Do you store them somewhere, or is it just kind of swimming around?
I store them in my head.
So nowhere do you have, written down what you'll do tonight at Helium?
I'll write down a list, of bullet points, I'll write down, 9, 10 subjects I want to talk about. But not I never memorize anything.
We've got Norm Macdonald and Kevin Farley in studio here on 750 The Game. They're appearing tonight at Helium Comedy Club, 8 o'clock.
Helium rocks.
Also Friday and Saturday, 2 shows each, 7:30 and 10 o'clock. I was at Helium last week, so I guess I missed. They put your picture up there.
Did it rock?
They were like, Norm Macdonald's coming. And then the guys they had on were not so good.
Oh, they're comics?
They weren't so good.
Yeah, the MC was good.
Yeah.
When the MC's really good, and then the next act, and you're like, oh, the MC was better.
Oh, yeah.
Bring
back him.
Yeah. Bring them. How much will you get out around Portland? Portland and do like
Bring 'em
Occupy Portland material?
None, zero. I'll go, like, I generally go down to the Coke machine.
And that's
Like,
it.
I remember when because I get the blessing of traveling a lot, and my dad, who never traveled anywhere, just a farmer that never got out of the Ottawa Valley. But he would, when I was doing starting stand up, he'd say, "Oh, you're in St. Louis. Did you see the arch? And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it." I never saw the arch
out your window.
Like, I never saw anything past the hotel bar. So, but I pretended. I go, "Yeah, it's something." Because my dad, like, if he went, he for sure would
walk
go.
around.
But I think you go around a little bit, right?
I like to walk around the city. Yeah.
Yeah, you like to but it doesn't really help to, like, you don't want to go, "Hey, how about that mayor? He's a drunk." You don't.
Yeah.
You don't want to pander. Like, I remember one time I saw George Thorogood as a kid, right? You remember him?
Yeah.
And he did that song, one whiskey, one whatever it was, bourbon, one beer.
Scotch.
Yeah, something like that. But anyways, he changed one of the words because he was in Ottawa. We were watching him in Ottawa, and he goes, "Come on and give me another shot of that Ottawa juice. Come on now." And we're like, "What? Why'd you say that? You ruined everything." Like, we're trying to pretend we don't live in Ottawa. Like, you're the cool guy.
But you won't, like, none of your routine will be about, like, Portland.
Well, I'll talk about whatever's going on. I know, because I like the Occupy Portland thing, which Farley's all for now. So I'm going to talk.
I'm all for it.
I'm going to talk about that because that sounds ridiculous.
Are you pretty conservative, Farley?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I mean, a lot of people think I am, but I don't like politics. I don't like the conversations. They always boil down into arguments, and I just rather avoid it.
Your house.
It's not. It's he is like political, but it's hard to be funny. It's hard to be funny. It's hard to It's a big mistake of comedians to start having opinions. Because it's, all of a sudden it's not funny anymore. You know what I mean?
It's not like an actor or whatever who comes out and says, "I support Barack Obama." Once you do that, now you're into another
actors.
realm.
Well, you already know actors are complete idiots. So it's like, why would you even listen to them? It's the funniest thing to me as an actor because he's like, "Listen to me about Iraq." I'm like, "Aren't you don't you pretend for a living?"
Yeah.
Like, what if you're pretending now? I don't. Why would I? Plus, it's such an idiotic job. You're like, what? I'm going to listen to you because you're good at pretending to be another person? What?
Do you learn nothing else? We've got the history of shaving. Chop, the producer of the show, is going to share.
Where did it start,
Chop,
man?
where did it start, man?
Way back in the
caveman? It was in
caveman?
the 1890s.
Oh, that's wow.
And they actually started shaving due to the lice epidemic going around. They wanted to curve that. So.
Oh, well, that's
that
why.
right?
That's why I shave now.
Yeah, I've got horrible lice.
NormMacdonald came in here in
That seems rather recent, doesn't it?
In a
For
year-
shaving?
1890s, yeah.
See, before that, no shaving.
Hey, wait a second. That doesn't make any sense. When was Lincoln president?
Well, he had a beard.
Yeah, but he was remarkable for having a beard. The guys before him didn't have beards. George Washington didn't have a beard.
No, I know.
He had to shave.
We had to double check that.
Yeah,
We might be getting
nonsense.
some bad information. We're just testing you.
Uh-oh.
Well, your phone's going off.
My phone's gone. It's got an answer.
Don't let that happen during your stand-up. You know what would happen. He's going to take
Hello?
the call right now. Norm Macdonald's taking the call. Should we'll just stand by and wait for him.
It's an important call for someone else.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I have a phone. This is my phone. Sorry about that, guys. I have a phone, right? So I get the phone. So the number, I guess, used to belong to a girl who didn't pay a lot of her bills. So about every fourth call I get is, "Hello, is Michelle there?" And I go, "No, she doesn't live here. She doesn't live here." "And when will she be back?" They all think I'm lying, like I'm covering for Michelle. It's been going on for 4 years.
No way.
And then it's like from every, like, one's a credit card, one's a student loan. This girl owes a lot of money.
Her bills.
My-
I think I went out with her.
My phone, I was working at the Fresno Bee, and Andy Katz was with me, and now he's on ESPN as the college football guy.
Yeah.
And I got Katz's cell phone when he left, so the phone would ring, and it would be like Dean Smith, and I'd be like, "Who is this really? Like, who's messing around?" And it'd be like, "Where's Andy?" Like, these guys calling to want to know what's going on.
Yeah,
Wow, are you guys that in tune with sports? You got a UCLA sweatshirt
I know
on.
sports.
McDonald.
No, this is just an accident. I just get sweatshirts. I get cold, so I get sweatshirts, and I don't know what's on them sometimes. People come up to me, like, sometimes there'll be the Cleveland Barons or something. And they'll go, yeah, I watched them. They were defunct 30 years ago. I go, no, I just got it in the store. I just bought it in the store. Or I'll have, like, if I go to a gig and it's cold, I'll just buy a shirt, so sometimes it'll say whatever. pit, or something like that.
So
Then I forget what I'm wearing. If I'm walking down the street and people go, "What are we going to do with that coach?" And I go, "Huh? Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough one."
Kevin Farley, growing up in your household with,
Right.
all the Farley boys, what was that like?
Well, yeah. It was kind of like a frat house, basically.
It was weird for me.
You were in there, yeah. Thank God we adopted Norm. No, my mom and dad put us in a basement. So we had 4.
Okay.
Awesome.
Shouldn't you save this for a press conference?
I don't know. No, wait, because there was
Just
4. I mean,
blurts
we
it
had
out.
Chris, myself, and John, and then another brother, Tom. So we had a basement to ourselves. And, Chris had his own section of the house.
Other people would call that a dungeon.
It was a dungeon. And Chris had his own little section of the dungeon.
Yeah.
But it was more or less a dungeon.
That's when they fed you dog food.
Yeah,
right?
Mom would just throw a bunch of dog food down the stairs and be like, "Go at it, fellas, have fun."
We're getting a lot of requests for you to do the boy band Calculus song.
Okay.
The Calculus was yes.
Yeah. Calculus was a boy band. We were together. It was an MTV series back in the day.
Kevin Farley was in it. Only in America.
I played the older brother
Only
type.
in America.
I played the older brother type with braces.
Yes, but there was a big you toured for some of the greatest acts in the history of show business.
Yeah.
Who did you tour with?
No, it was
Britney
a funny story.
Spears.
Britney Spears.
Only
And-
in America. Kevin Farley.
That's right. The funny thing is when we heard we were touring with Britney, and we're like, "Oh, cool, we're going to be on stage with Britney Spears." And it's like, it turns out we were on a bunch of hay bales in the parking lot outside.
Only in America. Only in America.
And that's where we sang.
Only in America. Kevin Farley.
No, I'll sing a little bit.
Being
Ready?
modest, but
Here's our big hit. It was called
All right,
Calculus.
let it rip.
calculus,
Ready?
everybody.
Here we go. I know my calculus. It says you plus me equals us. Thank you very much.
Only in America. It's so funny that he was opening for Britney Spears and now he's opening for me.
My
Sometimes
career's on
the-
fire.
The trajectory of your career, you don't think of it. You're backstage, you're with Britney, you're like, hey, life's pretty cool. I wonder what's next. Suddenly.
I try not to think of it on a daily basis.
You guys at Helium, how much of your stuff tonight will be different from Friday and Saturday? Or Norm, will you do the same?
I don't know. What would you say, 50%?
Go see the Arch while you're here.
75% different? Probably. If you saw 2 different shows, it'd probably be 75% different between any 2 shows.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff.
He does. He's got a lot of stuff. Yep.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Chop especially wanted you guys on. He's down there too. He's 2 booths away, two cells away.
Hey, Chop. What's up, baby?
Well, Norm, we had you on back when I was on the rock station. So, I'm a big fan. I saw you at the Schnitz. Love your work.
Schnitz.
Much appreciated. Thanks for coming in.
Oh,
both
you
of you.
bet.
Does it feel like work though? I mean, it's not like holding a jackhammer. Come on, let's be real.
Well, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I held a jackhammer.
Have
It was-
you?
Yeah, it was one of the best jobs I ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah,
You didn't mind the
I work
noise.
construction, and they only let you do it 20 minutes at a time. You have to do it 20 minutes, take a 10-minute break, because you don't want to stop. Like you're like, first of all, you're tearing apart cement.
Yeah.
Like this monster, and then like your whole body is like shaking like crazy. And so when you stop it, you have to sit down. You're like hard, so you feel so good,
Wow.
So they have to stop you after 20 minutes because people will just go on them forever.
That's a good job.
Oh, it's so fun. Yeah, it's so fun. I did a manual labor a lot before stand-up. I like manual labor the best, I think. But I wouldn't have liked now when I'm old and tired and stuff like that.
Unshaven and old.
But when
Yeah.
I was young and strong, it's fun. Lifting stuff is fun.
Now it's horrible.
Now it's not fun at all.
All right, you can check them out tonight at Helium Comedy Club, 8 o'clock, Friday and Saturday, 2 shows, 7:30 and 10 o'clock. Thank you, guys.
Rock
Thank you,
Helium.
guys.
Rock and roll.
Go check out the Occupy Portland thing.
Yeah,
There's,
absolutely, man.
there's some material down there for you.
I bet
And
there is.
maybe some razors.
That's right.
Leave it right here. Turd Ferguson is in studio. We let the listeners, by the way, NormMacdonald is here. Comic, he'll be appearing at Helium Comedy Club. We let the listeners decide who we should have on. It was either you or Jeff Tedford, the cow coach,
Oh, yeah.
and overwhelmingly voted for you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
You want to talk about Cal football for a while? You like coming? They brought you back. You must have been funny.
Oh, my God. Last time I was hysterical.
You brought the good stuff this time?
No, this time I brought the B material. No, I know. Yeah, I brought the good stuff.
People that see you, do they often ask you to do like characters like Turd Ferguson, or they say be the Weekend Update guy? Or
Yeah, sometimes they do. Like sometimes it's weird, like with specifically that Turd Ferguson thing, because it's just a thing I wrote like one time, and then somehow a lot of people know it, and then but most people don't, and then so sometimes I'll be in the street, and then a guy will go Turd Ferguson. I'm like, thank you. Thank you, and then everyone else just looks.
Everybody's like, "What?"
It's a very odd exchange.
You
Turd Ferguson, thank you.
And the characters. Did you ever have a character you wrote that you thought was really good and no one else got it?
Well, I didn't really have any characters. I just did impressions, and then sometimes I only did impressions from when I was a kid. That's why I did like Burt Reynolds and but other ones like I did Slim Pickens. Nobody seemed to care much for that.
Nobody got it anymore. They were like, we don't remember that.
Yeah, they didn't remember it. So it was mostly the impressions I did when I was a little child. I couldn't do like modern people because I never watched them.
The stand-up comedy, did that come easy for you? I mean, or is that?
Yeah, it was pretty easy. Like I was doing, manual labor at the time in Canada. And I was just
so this is.
So then I went into there was a club called Yuck Yucks, and they were doing stand-up, and I was only making like $2 an hour, like $16 a day, and then you could make like that $10 for doing a set at the Yuck Yucks. So that seemed way easier.
Easier. What manual labor did you do?
Everything, anything that wasn't skilled. But I worked in a logging camp, and at one time I worked in a garbage truck. Oh my God, you think that's fun? It's not.
Bad hours. And you're dealing with crap all day.
Well, you're dealing with garbage, but I thought it would be fun because you get to stand on the back of the truck with the wind in your hair and stuff. But it turns out like the driver goes real fast, and then people throw the stuff people throw in their garbage. It's like you stop, and then there's a sofa that's broken in half, and then a big garbage pail full of sod that weighs 200 pounds, and then at the end the guy drives you to the dump, which is like hell itself.
I'm always putting things I shouldn't put in the wrong bin and all that. Did you have to sort stuff, or did you just throw it all in one place?
That was before different bins.
That was one bin. You put all the toxic stuff in with everything else.
Everything went together.
Norm Macdonald is at Helium tonight, 8 o'clock, Friday and Saturday, 2 shows, 7:30 and 10 o'clock. It's at Southeast 9th and Hawthorne. Do you get a chance to see other comics? Do you watch other comedy?
Not very often because I'm always on the road, but I see them. I see them on their stand-up specials sometimes.
Who do you think's good?
Oh, my favorite's Brian Regan. Do you know Brian Regan?
I don't. I've probably seen him, but I don't know. The name to the face.
Yeah. No, he's real funny.
Why do you like him?
I don't know. He's just super funny. It's hard to calibrate, but there's a few guys that are really great. Why? Who do you like?
I like Norm Macdonald.
Oh.
You know what I don't like? I
thought it would be immodest to bring that name up.
Yeah, I didn't like. I don't like Howie Mandel.
What? I thought you had him in here.
Had him in here. He was horrible.
He was horrible with you?
He was bad. I'll tell you who else was bad. Who was the guy?
Howie seems to be always on though.
We got another guy in here that was I can't remember. He was really bad. Howie wasn't on.
Really?
He didn't want to be here.
Oh.
You could tell he said he wanted to spend his least amount of time he could in Portland. He was trying to be funny.
What?
He was trying to be funny, but I don't think he was selling any tickets. And in fact, you know what? He wasn't at Helium. He was going out to Spirit Mountain. And I was just like, dude, we're trying to help you sell tickets here. And he was just basically saying what a bad mood he was in the whole time. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Let me get a ticket to see that right away. Norm Macdonald is our guest in studio. Canadian, do you do this in Canada, or you like the U.S.?
No, I like the U.S. better than Canada. But
you say that in Canada?
No, in Canada, I pretend I like Canada better. But yeah, I couldn't vote because I'm not an American. But in Canada we voted, but it didn't make any difference. Like, because you're just voting for the Prime Minister of Canada. Not much is going to change, like one way or the other.
What do you think of the American political process?
I don't really understand any of it. Like, I watched the guys debate, and then it's just a bunch of numbers that I have no idea. One guy's like, 25 trillion. What about 50 trillion? And I'm like, I don't know what any of it.
No context at all.
There's no context. And then, I wonder if you ask people after they watched the debate any questions about those insanely big numbers, if they could remember any of it, because I can't. I just remember the little joke lines or whatever.
Your parents were both teachers, is that right?
Yeah, how'd you know that?
I do research.
What the?
They were teachers at your school?
Yes, they taught me. It was funny because my dad taught me like when I was in grade 6 or something, and he was like the tough teacher, and then he decided to be tougher on me than everyone else. So that wasn't a fun.
There's
year.
no rules. That's like you're like in a Turkish prison at that point, because it's not like he's going to complain. Your parents aren't going to defend you in that situation.
That's true.
Did Dad? Did that make you cool to have your parents at the school, or no?
Oh God, no, because it was in public school. Everyone hates the teachers.
So they couldn't talk to you. They just beat you on the playground.
Yeah, One time I had a fight with a guy, like a big guy, because back then they wouldn't pass people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so you'd have one guy that was 3 years older than everyone else and twice as big.
Dating the yard duty. That
exactly.
guy. Yeah.
And angry because he'd been held back so long. So he wanted to fight me one time. And then, so I had to fight him. I was terrified all day. And then that night, like, the kids all gathered around, watched the fight. And then the guy, like, came at me, and I moved, like, quickly, and he fell over my foot, like, and he tripped.
Yeah.
And everyone gasped. And then he got up and he punched me in the stomach, and I doubled over, and the fight was over. But after that, like, this rumor spread that I knew karate.
Because you tripped him.
Because I accidentally tripped him. And then the principal called me into his office, and he said, Mr. Bradley, and he said, I understand, you know that Shogun. He called it Shogun.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
Norm Macdonald in studio, comedy. He does comedy, he does acting, you do writing. What do you like to do the best? You like to write, I bet.
Yeah, I do, yeah. That's what I like the best, because then you can just be all by yourself, and you don't have to take a shave. Are writers strange? Because I'm a columnist at the Oregonian, and I find that the people that are in that business, they're all kind of weird. Yeah, they're kind of isolated types, you know, and so that makes you weird, not collaborating with other people. But it's more fun, you know. It's definitely more fun than taking a shave. I mean, that's what's good about radio. You don't have to take a shave.
Yeah, I come in here.
You don't have any cameras around. Usually, like radio stations now, they have cameras.
You know what? They put all this cool stuff
hidden?
Up. It's moving that way. No, there's not hidden.
Oh, okay.
No, that would be cool, though. We could get all kinds of stuff. Did you hear the story about Lane Kiffin, the USC coach, today?
No.
All right, so they played Oregon last week. They lost the game. It was a big game for the Ducks. And
that was huge.
Turns out that they were deflating the footballs. They had a student manager on the sideline that was making their ball a little bit squishier so it's easier to throw and catch.
Oh,
it still didn't work. They threw the student manager under a bus and fired him, but Lane Kiffin says he knew nothing about it.
Wow, I never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
You got to work that into your routine.
But don't the officials like examine the football all the time?
They do, but the guy went and he let some air out on the sideline, and then they put it in the game for the first half.
Oh, wow. That's smart.
You think so?
Well, I mean, I'm against it. Listen.
Are you a sports fan?
Ridiculous.
I know you did.
I love sports.
What was it? Sports? What was the show?
Yeah, sports show. No, I love sports. Hey, the Trailblazers are good this year. I call them the Brazers.
Better than the Lakers, I would expect. People in LA are freaking out.
I know, man. I don't think that team's going to work, the Lakers. I don't believe in all-star teams in basketball. I like Oklahoma City.
That's the team, and people in Seattle are upset about losing the Sonics to Oklahoma City. Is there a sport you follow in particular?
Golf, I follow the most, but right now football and basketball. And you know the Spurs? They never mention the Spurs. Everyone forgets about the Spurs till they go so deep.
They're always
at the last minute. They're like, "Oh yeah, the Spurs."
Pencil them in the semifinals, but nobody talks about them all year long. Because they're boring.
They are kind of dull.
Yeah.
But when you see them play, like it's pretty exciting because it moves like an organism. You know, just all teamwork. You know, super fast.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that the listeners of this show voted you to be on the show. Because otherwise, we would have come up to you outside and said, "Sorry, you got knocked off. You got bumped." by Jeff Tedford at Cal, but we won't tell Tedford that. So people come to the show tonight at 8 o'clock or Friday, Saturday, 7:30 and 10 o'clock, Helium Comedy Club, 9th in Hawthorne, Southeast 9th in Hawthorne. What are they going to see? What do you got for them?
They should put a Nerf football
Into the game?
Then a guy could throw like a 400-yard pass.
He had 300 yards in the first half.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge story.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How?
And he claims he didn't know. Coach says he didn't know.
That's impossible.
Rogue student manager.
That's impossible. Boy, that's gonna be big. That's gonna be an exciting story. Wait, didn't you just ask me a question?
That's all right. What are people gonna get tonight at Helium?
They're gonna get funny, probably a funnier show now because I'm on the juice.
You're juicing?
Yeah.
Before you were funny before because
I was funny before, but I have to keep up.
They're like Barry Bonds, not good enough for you to be like a normal star.
Yeah.
You got to be the guy, all-time greatest.
Yeah, I got to be. Why isn't Lance Armstrong big?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, what kind of steroids was he on?
Skinny roids.
Man, skinny.
Yeah, what do you think of Lance? How should Lance handle that? Like everybody knows that he cheated now, and he's like laying low.
I don't know. In a way, it was pretty courageous of him to take steroids because, like, the only reason not to take steroids is because it will make your cancer gallop. Yeah. And here he had cancer. So for some reason he took steroids while on, you know what I mean?
You admire that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage.
It took a lot of courage. Live strong.
Live strong.
Norm Macdonald, thank you, man. Good stuff.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll see you tonight. Helium, 8 o'clock. He'll bring the good stuff. 7:30 and 10 on Friday and Saturday. Southeast 9th and Hawthorne. Leave it here.